starts right now.
All Niners all day in Week 11. Final score, 49ers 30, Jaguars 10. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and pride of the Jaguars running back Fred Taylor here on Jaguars Postgame. Glad you're along with us. The San Francisco 49ers improved to a record of 5-5. The Jaguars fall to 2-8. And this one got out of hand quickly. Fred, good afternoon to you.
JP, Mike, what's up, guys? Jaguars beat themselves. They're going to continue to lose games if they do that. Straight out the gate, man, third down woes.
Oof.
They just continue, to play well early on. And then I think it was around the 50-yard line. It was 3rd and 6. Jenkins got a holding call that extended the drive. And then later on it was 3rd and 12. They should have played well enough to stop that. And then I think Smoot was offside on a 3rd and 4. That continued to extend the drive for the Niners, which basically said this day is going to be a long day. So third downs beat them up, penalties killed them. Bad team.
Ridiculous penalties today. We talked about it at the halftime, JP. 3 conversions of third down, Fred, that they would have been off the field were it not for the penalty that the Jags committed. And, it cost them points, cost them field position, cost them tons of time of possession, cost them just about everything you could imagine. And then the injuries just started to mount up like you couldn't believe out there on top of it. So this was I don't know if this is the low point for the season, but I hope it is. It's the low point to this point of the season for sure in my mind.
Yeah, and there's no, as they say, there's no help. No one's coming to really save them at this point. I think these guys, man, they really just got to go back, buckle down, and try to find a way to be disciplined. They got to play smarter. You look at Jenkins, the way he started the game with the holding, but that wasn't the worst of it. The 3rd and 2 after Wingert made that stop right there, he goes up and he gets the unsportsmanlike, which extended that. And a few plays later, they allowed a 3rd and goal to, Ayuk?
Yep.
To score a touchdown on that particular drive too. So just a lot of bad discipline out there, the penalties, just guys not playing smart after we had just praised the defense. And the offense itself, they have their own problems, but the defense at least was giving you an opportunity to be in games. But if they're going to play like that, you won't be in any games.
I got to tell you, on Monday night, the 49ers had a long drive to open the game against the Los Angeles Rams. You're like, okay, maybe this is how they play, but 18 plays, that's a long time. They started today's game with a 20-play drive that went 87 yards in 13 minutes, 5 seconds. It's only a few seconds off what is the NFL record for a drive, longest drive. It's only about 20 seconds short of it. I mean, that's demoralizing for a defense when you're out there for 20 plays and it's 7 or it ended up with a field goal, 3-0, and you're out of breath, you're out of everything.
Yeah, I think it was at some point at the end of the first quarter they had run 21 plays to the Jags 4 plays.
Right. And
the Jags had a fumble on the 4th play. I mean, the Niners, they came on a short week, and they did what they had to do after traveling across country. And the better team took advantage of what they had to do today and won the game.
Yeah, if we told you Deebo Samuel would have 1 catch in the game, you'd think, oh, that's pretty good. Not much of an impact. He averaged 9.9 yards a carry, though, out of the backfield. Ran it 8 times for 79 yards. And, Fred, you had to know it was coming. And at times they did a decent job on it, but it's like they telegraphed every time Deebo's in the backfield, they're giving him the football. And a couple of times I felt like the Jags defense got caught flat-footed by him. I know he's got a burst and he's having a heck of a season, but that has to have shown up on film when they line him up in the backfield. They almost exclusively give the ball to him in those situations.
Right, and I think the Jaguars defense had plenty of time to prepare for it. And for me, you just stick a guy in a position. I don't care who's back there. You can take any one of their running backs and put them in that position. A week ago, you prepared for Jonathan Taylor. You take the first half away, you did a great job against the best running back in football. But to have a receiver go just the line in that position and not really have an answer for him a week after playing the best back in the league, I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Jaguars Postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network. Final score in Week 11, 49ers 30, Jaguars 10. We'll come back in just a moment, and we're awaiting the first word after the game with head coach Urban Meyer. Jaguars fall to a record of 2-8 in the loss today here at TIAA Bank Field. And this is Jaguars Postgame, presented by Florida Home AC on Jaguars Radio.
Scoring a touchdown on your own? Nearly impossible. But with the power of human connections, the world might as well be your end zone. At Ring Central, our winning lineup is simple: message, video, and phone, all together on a platform built to run and grow your business. Because when everyone can communicate and collaborate, it's not just magic, it's a winning strategy. Discover what we could do for your team. Visit ringcentral.com and say hello to possibilities. Ring Central, message, video, phone, together.
It's a force that can't be contained, propelled by purpose, pride, and the power to protect. When winning isn't just the mission, it's your passion. You pursue it. You make power plays. You pick your team. At Farrah & Farrah, we deliver game day energy 24/7. Jacksonville.
The Land Rover Defender story began with the simple thought of creating an exceptionally capable off-road vehicle, becoming the go-anywhere, do-anything all-terrain machine. Today, there's a new Land Rover Defender, the toughest and most advanced Land Rover vehicle ever. From the beginning, Land Rover knew the new Defender was capable of great things. Motor Trend's 2021 SUV of the Year is just the latest example. Test drive the new Land Rover Defender today at Land Rover Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard, or go to LandRoverJacksonville.com. Land Rover, above and beyond.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh, she's doing great.
Oh yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Final score 30-10. 49ers over the Jaguars in Week 11. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey. And pride of the Jaguars running back, Fred Taylor. The Jags, penalized today a good bit. A lot of early penalties in this game. Third down issues, obviously, again. And, they finished the day with 8 penalties for 56 yards, but a bunch of those were in the first half on those key drives. We mentioned this earlier. You talked about the Ray-Shaun Jenkins ejection. He has 5 penalties called against him this year now, including that one. 2 are taunting. 2 are unnecessary roughness as well, and this is the first one he's been ejected for. I mean, that's the book's out on him now, and he got run from the game today for it.
Right, and that's just the NFL. Each week the refs have their meetings, much like the teams have their meetings, and they say these are the guys, and also the opponents. They send in film and different things of players to watch for, and as you mentioned it, he's on their radar. And I think the coaches have to pull him aside. So if you're gonna, he has a captain patch, right?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, so that's uncalled for. That guys in that position, in those leadership roles, they have to be, held more accountable for whatever they do out there on the field, because those 2 penalties, those were huge. The first one could have easily stopped the first drive of the game, give you an opportunity to at least play the field position battle, because we did have a 3-and-out. But it's still about field position. But instead, they were able to go down and muster up a field goal. But that second one, that's totally uncalled for, unnecessary, and there's no real place in it for these guys.
Yeah, I'm curious, Fred, what they will say about that kind of stuff after the game. We talked in the pregame about Jamal Agnew's comments this week about drops being a correctable, an easy thing to correct, and my point is, well, if they're so easy to correct, why do they keep happening for this team? So, I don't know what else you're going to say in that situation because they are self-inflicted things. But if these things are easily correctable to get this out of your system, it's got to stop now. I mean, how easy is it to clean up that level of sloppy play and lack of attention to detail? I mean, you got the punter not on the field during a punt formation to where one of the protectors is pointing back like there's no one back here. There's no one back here. And Logan Cook goes running out at the last second. They have to call a timeout so they don't get a delay of game.
I might get thrown under the bus. I don't know. For me, the things that are easily corrected, it starts with repetition. Repetition, those situations in practice. Just going constantly over and over and over them. We've seen many examples throughout this season where it just seems like guys aren't ready. With 12 men in the huddle, offensively, defensively, you mentioned Logan Cook. He's not out there, and those things can happen. But it's the special team coach's job to say, "Hey, alert! They're on the sideline on third down, getting ready to run out if the offense doesn't execute." So there's no reason for the punter of all people not to be out there if they're not going to go for it. So a lot of that does come back to the coaches, man. It's just one of those situations. A lot of coaches from the college ranks and all this other stuff. This is the NFL game. This game it comes down to discipline and being ready each and every week. And I'm trying my best. I'm not bad-mouthing anyone, but I just know what it's about because I played in it. I know what Coach Coughlin stood for when he was here. Those type things didn't happen. And if they did happen, a lot of other things happen too throughout the week. You have that FedEx on your desk being fined for not being ready because it's your job to be ready.
So is that what you need to do? I mean, do you need to find guys?
The league has changed. It's changed so much. I mean, they got the union, and they're going to protect the players, and they can't just fine them for anything like not being on the field for a snap.
Right.
But Coach Coughlin pushed the envelope, and you were scared as crap, if nothing else. So you made sure you did your job. And a lot of these guys got to look around man to a man, whether it starts with Miles, the other captains, guys that are out there really getting after it to say, hey, guys, look, enough is enough. You. It's usually the same characters each week. Got to get yourself together, and we got to get on the same page and make it happen.
It's week 11, though. I mean, we got 7 games
unfortunately,
left. It's a little late for that, right?
Yeah.
Or can you circle that around?
You got to keep just the reps. You got to just keep pounding it away, and hopefully it cracks into these guys' head. They can figure it out at some point, because I'm sure a lot of these guys are going to return next year.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of one-year contracts, especially on defense. There's not a lot of one-year deals. I mean, these guys signed multiple-year deals. They're free agent guys.
Right. But, and is this one game that just pretty much shined the spotlight on it, what's been going on the entire season? But it's been going on the entire season, and these type of losses makes it shine brighter than most of the other games. Because we were just praising these guys the past couple weeks, on defense. So
we were.
Yeah, we were. Not now.
No.
Not after today.
The penalties, that was huge. That played a huge part in the day.
Absolutely.
I don't care about anything else happens. Those penalties, offense has to play better, but they've been struggling. Defense, you've played good, but you've minimized those tough penalties. And all these penalties were third down penalties.
I think, too, even though they let San Francisco stay out there, some of the penalties extended that opening drive for 20 plays. That's what you talk about in the NFL. Don't let teams beat you quick strike, right? Make them have a 10-play drive. You don't think about a 20-play drive.
Right.
And then eventually they're going to make a mistake along the way. And they were able to hold them to a field goal on that as well. But by that time, you've been on the field for 13 straight minutes to open the football game, and your offense goes 3 and out. I mean, what chance do you have when you run back out there on defense, right? You're already exhausted, and it's not the end of the first quarter yet.
Right. It's much like, conditioning. If coach said, hey, we got 10 of these things, then you get to 10, we got 10 more. Now you finish those 10, we got 10 more. Mentally, you're out of it. Like your whole entire body just shuts down. And for these guys to go 3 plays, 3 and out, or a nice amount of plays, get them to third down, you stop them. Penalty. We got 3 more plays guaranteed. You stop them again. Got more plays because of penalties. So it comes down to discipline, making sure the guys are sound on that down, especially if nothing else, because you struggled this year on third down. and then you get closer to winning games if you can manage third downs.
I like the whistle sound effect. That's pretty good. It's realistic. We'll return in a moment. We're still waiting the first word with head coach Urban Meyer after the Jaguars' loss in Week 11. 49ers over the Jags 30-10 in this Jaguars postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
It's a fact. All cars will eventually break down. If you have CarShield, you can protect yourself from the high cost of auto repairs. And they're America's #1 auto protection company. Your transmission, engine, and car's computer system are all covered. Get the ultimate vehicle service protection. Call CarShield now at 800-471-1223. That's 800-471-1223.
It's a force that can't be contained. Propelled by purpose, pride, and the power to protect.
Trevor, could you just talk about where you guys go from this point forward? You've always maintained a very optimistic attitude. Tough day today, and it just didn't seem like there was a whole lot of positivity that came out of this game.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much left to say. You know, like you said, it's just gotta keep going. The season's not gonna get canceled. We got 8 more games. Was it 7 or 8? 7 more games left. We got a lot of ball left. Just get better every week. And but yeah, I'm not gonna sit up here and say all the positive things that came out of it. There's not much out of today. Got our butt kicked. Didn't look good all the way around. So where you go from here is just keep going to work. Everybody stay together. Keep fighting. I know I will. I'm never gonna quit. And I know we got enough guys to turn this thing around, and it's up to us. We got to make that decision. So just got to keep working.
Trevor, you've not dealt with anything like this before in your career, high school, college, obviously. How tough is this for you to go through, and who are you relying on to kind of help you get through this mentally?
Just everybody, the whole team. We got a lot of guys that, especially in the quarterback room, a lot of the coaching staff as well, but the team's done a great job of sticking together just throughout all the good and bad that's happened. And obviously that's going to be, like I said, that's the thing right now is just to continue to do that. You know, we have 7 games left. We got to just stick together, keep fighting, and go play our best ball moving forward. You kind of see in years past other teams, maybe even here, wherever, where end of the season just keeps going downhill. We're not going to do that. So just to keep fighting, and we got to put better stuff out there on the field. I mean, that was bad today. So, yeah, we'll have to watch the tape. You know, I can't give you guys too many answers right now. I got to go watch it. We just got to be better.
Trevor, right here. I'm sure there are some frustrations with how the offense looked on the field today. What were those discussions with your receivers on the sideline like during the game today?
Yeah, just trying to get on the same page, you know. San Francisco did a nice job. They didn't do anything too complicated, but you know, they played a lot of man coverage, and it's not something they've done a lot of in the past. They're a big zone team, besides on third down. And they came out and challenged us and played a lot of man. So we had some good adjustments. You know, we got to some things, made a few plays early on after the first 2 drives. You know, kind of settled in on that long drive. But we got to communicate better. We got to put each other in better situations, and that was just kind of us, you know, trying to figure out what we wanted to do and make sure we're on the same page. And if I wanted to go to a certain, you know, change to a certain look or whatever it was, just make sure we're all good. And I thought at the end we put together a nice drive, so that was good at least.
Trevor, in the past when you've had a slump as an offense at whatever level, what gets you out of it? I know it hasn't been something that's been this long, this extended in your past, but what is it that has gotten you out of being in a slump previously?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's one answer to that. Something definitely that's helped in the past is you just need a spark. You need guys to make plays, and it's all of us. It's me, it's receivers, running backs, wideouts, like it's just everybody. Someone make a play, get some momentum, and we didn't make any big plays today. So we got to be better, and we could have used a few sparks. You saw we were starting to do that as the year went on, and in the past few games offensively haven't been great. So we got to find that again. But like I said, we still need to. I don't want to say too much until I watch the tape and see for sure.
Over here, Trevor. What were your conversations with, I know obviously you talked primarily to Schottenheimer during the game, but what were your conversations with Bevel following the game, during the game, as far as the play calling went?
Yeah, I mean, it's similar, like offense coordinator and quarterback. You're going to catch all the good things when you're playing well and catch all the bad when things aren't going well in offense. So we just all gotta help each other out. We got to help Bev out. I mean, there's only so much he can do. You know, he's the one calling the plays. We're the ones out there on the field, and we got to make plays, and we have to be better. So we haven't had a detailed conversation yet. I talked to him right after, and I got his back. You know, we're in it together. I know he's the same way with me, so I'm not concerned about that. But like I said, I just need to watch it, and we need to get together and talk about some things and see. But you know, I thought that we had a good game plan. I thought we had answers, and for whatever reason, first drive 3 and out. Missed a throw there, and the next drive turned it over, and then San Francisco, I mean, they held the ball for forever. They had a great game plan, used the clock, time of possession, they did a good job. And then we had that long drive at the end of the first half, had a little bit of momentum, and then coming out of halftime, stalled out again. So just consistently playing better, putting drives together. Like our defense holds them on that first drive. That was like 10 or 11 minutes, or shoot, it might have been 12 minutes long. 13 minutes long, but we held them to 3 points. You know, after all that, they only got 3 points out of it. You can't go 3 and out right there. We were on the field for probably like 40 seconds. You know, so you can't do that. We got to help them, and that's all of us playing better, being in the right situation, and yeah, that's just one example of didn't play complimentary at all. So, and we were -2 in the margin, so that went into it too.
There's a level of expectation for captains. Did Ray-Shaun Jenkins say anything in the locker room afterwards? Was he even there in terms of, you know, what he did and what he did in the first quarter there?
I didn't really even see what happened, honestly. Yeah, he was in there though, and he was in there at halftime, talking to everybody and just, you know, encouraging everybody. He was in, his spirits were all right. I don't even really know what happened, so, but we got his back. Nothing's going to change.
Trevor, it looked like in the third quarter, on the second 3 and out, you were looking at the sideline and you took your palms out like open up the playbook. Can you elaborate on that and what you actually meant with that?
Yeah, that's not what I meant. It's that's part of our offense, so I can't elaborate too much on that. But that's not what I meant. No, that's funny you say that though. No, that was just one of our signals. So trying to get that communicated to all the guys, change the look.
I know you and Urban. Arms around each other, or he had his arm on your shoulder, whatever, at the end of the game there. Was that a moment where you guys are trying to just get through it or just figure out what's going on, or is it one of those conversations of, you know, hang in there, better things are ahead type of thing?
A little bit of all. I mean, just him encouraging me, just talking for a quick second. Obviously, that's tough. You know, you go out there and you prepare and you work hard, and to put that on the field, it's like, gosh, you know, it sucks. It's a bad feeling. So I just told him I'm going to keep fighting. Like, it doesn't matter the situation. I'm always going to be me. Don't have to worry about me. So I'm going to keep being the same guy, coming back every day, grinding. And we got a lot of guys like that, and there's not a magic pill. Like, this is what we need to do to fix it. We all just have to take ownership and be better. And until we do that, it's going to be the same thing. So we gotta keep going back to work, and it'll come. But this is definitely disappointing. Yep. Thank y'all.
Thanks, Trevor. Urban, after a performance like today, what do you tell the team afterwards? And does this in any way diminish the optimism you have for the remainder of the season?
No. I know it's, for those who know me or maybe who don't know me, that I love our quarterback. I love our owner. I love the fact that we have a good core group of players. I was extremely disappointed with everything about today. But you keep going, you keep working, and there's times we played excellent football. Today wasn't one of those days. So we got another chance to prove to our home crowd that we love them, care about them. We're going to play hard next week against the Falcons. So that's the way I look at it.
Coach, there's one thing to not play your best or play excellent football. It's a whole other thing to play what you guys put out there in the field today, 10 games in. Do you have any idea where it went wrong and how it unraveled like to that point?
Yeah, defensively, third downs, we couldn't get off the field in their first drive. They took about, basically the whole first quarter. That's a very good football team too, by the way. I think they're kind of hitting their stride. Very good players, good scheme. We just had, you saw what I saw about 4 times they had a chance to get off the field. We didn't do it. And then offensively, my God, I think we had 3 and out and then a turnover. We had 4 plays in the first quarter, I think. And then Trevor, I thought, and the group took him right down the field, kicked a field goal, and that was the first half. But to answer your question, yeah, I'm not going to panic. That was a very poor display of football in so many areas. But go back to work and try to go beat the Falcons next week.
Real quick, could you address Fernando Lobo leaving, going back to Texas? Yeah.
Yeah, he came to me last week, and he wants to be an athletic director, and they've offered him a really good job. And I knew that. Fernando's like a son to me, so all positive.
When you and Trevor
nothing behind door number 2 with that one.
Okay. When you and Trevor were talking at the end of the game, what was that conversation with him like? Was it trying to just keep his spirits up because he's never been through this?
Yeah, I just love that guy, man. I mean, how do you not? The guy is, it's all good. It's all work. It's all positive. It's all, my gosh, you saw him what I saw, and he took the field, tempo, moving the ball. And I love Cam Robinson. He kept going and going and going even after he got dinged. There's so many great things. That's why you get your ass kicked, and there's going to be a day we don't get our ass kicked here. That's coming. And I know that guy's going to be part of it, that 6 foot, whatever he is, quarterback. And care deeply for that guy.
Hey, Coach, you guys are already kind of thin at the wide receiver position. What could that injury to Jamal Agnew mean for the roster?
Devastating. Yeah, he's our, we all know what kind of person he is, and talented guy, fast guy. So we'll know more tomorrow, but that's a hit square in the jaw if that's a problem.
Urban, in terms of the play calling, what were your conversations both in game and then, I know obviously clearly you haven't had time to watch the tape back, but looking at last week, looking at this week, what have your conversations been with Darrell Bevell?
A lot of respect for Bev. I think it's, it's a little bit like the quarterback. I'm very transparent with our staff. If I think it's a really bad play call or lack of execution, we address it. We've tried to adapt a little bit. I was really disappointed today because we had some things that I thought were things that Trevor was really good at, and we just never got to it because it just didn't play well. So, yeah, I mean, Bev's an excellent football coach, and so is Shadi, and those guys work together, and obviously the product's got to improve here quickly, but I have confidence they'll do it. We'll do it.
7 games left, and you hate to start asking about staff changes. With 7 games left, but there was a report today that you've been really harsh on the running backs coach and the receivers coach, and they've been taking the brunt of maybe your criticisms behind the scenes. Is there any truth to that?
There's a report, you said?
There was a report today.
No, the only report that, in all due respect, is the report from me, and very disappointed on offense right now. Special teams, there's times at defense, so no, I mean, it's once again, there'll be nothing behind door number 2. We're a very transparent staff, and I am very transparent. That I've always been. So we have high expectations, and when someone's not performing well, then, yeah, we have hard conversations. But that's the game of football, and so that report is incorrect. I mean, I don't know about the word hard. Do I have high expectations for position groups? Absolutely, very high expectations. And if it's not fulfilled, we have to have a conversation about it. I can assure you, it's not. I can't remember which receivers and what.
Running back.
Yeah, it's not. There's not focus on that. We can spread it around a little bit.
The third down penalties on defense, there were a few times in the first half where you guys got a stop, but a penalty, gave San Francisco first down.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
How can you move past that and just kind of get it through to the defense that those are mistakes you can't make?
Well, where there was a holding and it was, we had a sack, right?
Personal foul. Yeah, personal foul. And a holding. Both on a cap.
Was it Ray-Shaun on the?
Both of them.
Yeah.
Defensive holding on a third down and the ejection for punching, throwing a punch.
Yeah, it's not like him. I know he had a taunting one earlier in the year or something, but I'll chat with him tomorrow. And once again, there's the holding. I didn't see it. The fight, I saw something going on off to the side. It looked like two guys going after each other. But so yeah, what can you do? I'm gonna go address it. He is a captain. He's very well respected by me. That we got to get that fixed.
Yeah, Urban, that's where I was going to ask you as well. Do you feel like you're in a position where you can be hard on a veteran like that when they make a mistake and they get ejected? What's the balance?
The days of being hard, in my opinion, I think it's the days of being honest. 15 years ago was a whole different animal, and that's at all levels. So being hard, especially a grown man, Ray-Shaun Jenkins, great. What the heck? What the heck's going on, man? Let's get that corrected. He'd be the first one to have that look in his face, like, why did the heck? There's no defiance. If there'd be defiance, that'd be a problem. So we just got to have a grown man conversation, and you can't do that, especially in your position, any position.
Hey, Coach, you've talked a lot right here. You've talked a lot about building the confidence of this young team over the course of the year and how you need that confidence to play with it. What does a game like today do to the confidence?
It hurts it. I think we won 2 out of 3 at one point, and so you started feeling good. You had victory meals. People started to pep their step around here a little bit. Defense was one of the top defenses in the last 4 games. You kind of feel a little juice going, and then you play like that. So we got to get them back. That's my job. That's our staff's job and our leader's job. So that was a sting to it, but we'll be back.
You mentioned one time overconfidence is just as bad as not being confident. Do you think some of the players started to get a little overconfident?
No, I would be. You'd have to ask them. I would be shocked. I think defensively they're feeling pretty good about themselves because they were playing very good, and today we didn't play very good.
Last one for Mark. Dan Mullen was fired for the first time in his life today.
She just told me that.
Yeah. What was your reaction to Dan?
He's one of my close friends. He's a guy that was with me for 15 plus years. I didn't see that one coming. I know the expectations of Florida. I lived it, and it is a premier place. But Dan and Megan are dear friends, and I'm sure Shelley talked to Megan. So I'll call him tonight, and I just feel it's a tough profession.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
They came off a Monday Night Football game this past week, and come all the way to Jacksonville and get the job done.
Hey, Malcolm, what did you think about the defense's performance today?
Obviously, it wasn't good enough to get the job done. We didn't keep no points off the board, whatever. We just got to get back in there and get back to work and just sharpen up our keys, whatever it was from this game, get back, watch the film, tackle whatever those things are, the mistakes, whatever it may be.
And that first drive of the game by the 49ers, I think it was like 20 plays, Have you ever been a part of that, and how wearing is that on a defense to be on the field for that long?
Yeah, I mean, I don't usually get the play count of the first drive or whatever, so I don't really know how many plays I've technically been in on the first drive or whatever. But I mean, it was a long drive. We got to get them off the field whenever it's time to get them off the field, whatever it may be. Like, we just got to play our ball at the end of the day. Like, penalties, all that stuff, we can't have it. All the mistakes, come out, play communicated defense, mistake-free defense, and we'll be good.
Malcolm over here. Obviously, they were down their running backs. Your defense has been tremendous against the run. So what did Deebo Samuel present that maybe you guys weren't prepared for or weren't able to counter today?
I mean, like I said, I just got to get back to the film and watch it. I haven't really watched it. I'm playing from inside out, from the A and B gap looking out. So, I mean, I can tell you exactly what he did good, whatever he did bad, but until I watch the film and, actually get to sit there and look at everything they did on offense and how we reacted to it.
Coach Meyer's talked a lot about the team building confidence. I mean, this is a young roster and a franchise that had gone a while without a win. You guys started to string something together. It felt like the team was getting more confident. What does a game like today do to that confidence that was building, especially in some of the younger players?
I mean, you don't lose no confidence. Our confidence is still where it's at. We just got to fix the mistakes and stuff, the things that happened today that we normally don't do or we're getting better at, the things that started to pop up again. We need to just hone back in on those things, get back down to our, whatever the key things are that we always do, get back to that instead of, playing the mistakes and getting penalties and stuff that we're doing already that was hurting us already. So we just got to get back to playing mistake-free football.
Malcolm, could you just talk in particular about the sequence in the first half where you guys picked up a bunch of penalties? Ray-Shaun kind of lost it a little bit, threw a punch. There was 2 penalties on one play that gave them a first down inside the 10-yard line. Could you just talk a little bit about that and what that does to a team when you make such self-inflicted errors like that?
As far as what it does for the team, I mean, it just gives them more opportunities to continue to drive, gives them first downs, give them 3 more downs to get another touchdown. I mean, all penalties, you never want to have those in the game. We were doing a good job at it. We just got to get back to, back to our technique and things like that, the things that you need so you won't get penalties. So your hands are in the right place and this and that so you won't get the penalties. We just need to get back to that in practice and just hone back in on our stuff, like our technique.
Anything else? Thanks, Bob.
All right.
the stats today in the TIAA Bank stats check, Fred. There's really not a positive way to spin much of that at all today.
I mean, we all saw it. You know, we saw it from the beginning to the end. It started bad, it ended bad, and that's what you got to expect when there's a lot of undisciplined play out there.
Today's game presented by Renewal by Anderson, official replacement window and door partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. A better way to a better window. For more information, visit online at rbafla.com. Plenty ahead. We'll pick a Jaguars Radio Network player of the game. Don't look at me like that. We will.
Okay.
Maybe. We'll come back, try it at least, and then a little later, the Baptist Health Injury Report. A lot of names on that list today, unfortunately. Jaguars fall 30-10 to the San Francisco 49ers in a Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
At VyStar Credit Union, you inspire us to deliver on our promise, to do good for our members and
our... Josh, could you just talk about how discouraging, if that's the right word to use, a performance like this is today for a defense after you guys seemed like you had it all together here the last couple games?
Man, it was just, football plays, man. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, we were in position to make a lot of plays during the actual plays, but it was just the penalties, you know what I'm saying? We had a 20-play drive, you know what I mean, and to still hold them to 3 points. I think it was so impressive, but nevertheless, we definitely going to get there's no response, man. I just can't wait to watch. I got to watch this film. I got to watch the film.
Hey, Josh, to your right over here. Do you worry about the psyche of this team at all, and maybe even the psyche of Trevor Lawrence a little bit?
No. I mean, I hope not. That's what we preach on, you know what I'm saying? I know, as of right now, as a player, we just played this game not unless, a couple hours, an hour ago, whatever. I'm mad. I want to watch this film. You know what I'm saying? I want to learn from the mistakes that I made, the mistakes I feel like I could have did better in if I have. So, and just to grow from it. And to move on to Atlanta, we got Atlanta Sunday. And then Thanksgiving is next week. So, we got a quick turnaround. And we got to be locked in. We got to move on. We got to learn from our mistakes now and not make the same mistake because how they carry on. You know what I mean? So learn from these mistakes, grow from it, get better. You know what I'm saying? And play great football.
Hey, Josh, can you just physically, emotionally walk us through that 20-play opening drive, what that did for you guys, what you guys were talking about on your side of the ball throughout that drive, 13 minutes of game clock?
Let's get off the field. It was a long drive, but it wasn't as tiring. You know what I'm saying? They really weren't going fast. But it was just, we had opportunities to get off the field. But it was, penalties. You know what I'm saying? Nobody losing a rep, nobody losing a one-on-one. It was penalties. So we had opportunities to get off the field. And I feel like that could have changed the momentum of the game. You know what I mean? So you never know which play is going to be that play. But I had a good feeling that if we would have got off the field early against that team, I feel like we would have, had a bigger spark in the game instead of holding the 3 points.
Hey, Josh, right here. And you just mentioned that you're mad after this one. Is this a feeling that, I guess the whole defensive group kind of has, that you feel like you kind of let those performances that we're stacking that you've talked about kind of down after this kind of performance today?
Man, like I said, I can't really say how a player played individually. What I know and what I do know, we lost because of the penalties. I feel like, till I watch the film, I probably had a different view. But from what I see and what I feel like if we didn't have as many penalties or we would have had momentum earlier, I feel like that could have changed the outcome of the game. But the way it happened, it is what it is. We lost bad, and it's embarrassing. And and we should feel because no group played special. You know what I'm saying? And we can all testament. I can speak for that too. You know what I'm saying? I feel like as a D-line, the standard we hold ourselves, I feel like we can always play better. You know, the DBs, the offense, the special teams. You know what I'm saying? So we just all have to take accountability for ourselves and to look at the film and really grow from this as a player, as watching yourself. So hopefully guys do that. I know I'm going to do it, and I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, I'm still going to take the positive out of this and move forward.
Josh, all these games now out of the way, what are your expectations, you personally and the team, going forward until the end here?
I mean, 46 A to B plus 2, that's our motto here. You know what I'm saying? We played it at standard every week. We're going to continue to play that standard to the end of the year. So I think that answered it. I don't know. Sorry. I kind of forgot mid talking. What was the question again?
About your expectations as well as the team expectations going forward.
Going forward? Man, it's the NFL week by week. You know what I'm saying? You can never overlook a week. So in this week, you know, we got Atlanta. You know what I mean? And we have to execute. And I know the coaches are going to do their job and get into this film, break this film down, so they can start working on Atlanta. So ready to go home, watch this film, and grow from it. And I feel like everybody is going to feel the same way too. So that's growth for the team. So hopefully we grow from it.
Josh, okay. The penalties, just as a defense, I mean, what does it take to kind of erase those? Is it just kind of a mindset and mentality to not make self-inflicted mistakes?
I mean, situations, you know what I'm saying? Just knowing situations, I don't know. I know Smoot jumped off sides, but, you know what I'm saying, he was working on something, you know what I'm saying? So you have things like that, or if a player trips and, you know what I'm saying, so it can be a holding call. So just situations, you know what I'm saying, just know where you're at in the game, and, you know what I'm saying, you're going to jump outside, you know, that's going to happen. The roughing the passer, you know what I'm saying, I don't know. I thought that was some crap. But, you know, just got to know the situations and know what we can and can't do.
Thanks, Josh.
The park. Next time, join thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smart way to get to the stadium is on the JTA Game Day Express. Express shuttles run from 5 convenient locations, including the newest location at FSCJ downtown. Tickets start at just $8 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars at Houston, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and Los Angeles. Taunt the other teams in Nashville, New York, and Boston. When you fly nonstop from Duval, on-airport parking will punt the stress from your travel itinerary. Garage facilities offer defensive coverage from the weather and are a 50-yard dash from the terminal. And economy lots are now open at just $6 a day. To learn more about nonstop flights and on-airport parking, visit flyjax.com.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues, and if you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, then look no further than Ford F-150. It's loaded with impressive capability and designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between. And this truck makes tough look easy. No wonder it's the official truck of the NFL. And proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Final score 30-10. San Francisco over Jacksonville today. 5-5 record for the 49ers, 2-8 for the Jags. Let's get to the Baptist Health injury report. Baptist Health changing healthcare for good. That's a lengthy list today of guys that had marked down in this game. Shaquille Griffin was evaluated for concussion, later ruled out. Tyson Campbell, late in the third quarter, came down awkwardly on his right shoulder. Was kind of holding it between the shoulder and the neck there, it looked like. Jamal Agnew, first play of the fourth quarter, they called it a hip injury officially, but that was a nasty-looking ending there, it looked like. Cam Robinson walked off and then came back into the game with a knee issue. And then Andre Sisco with a groin issue later in the game. Hasn't had a lot of defensive time as of late. Finally got out there today because of some depth things going on in the back end of the defense, and he's on the list. So that's a long list, Fred, in one game.
Right, and then you throw in your starting safety that gets kicked out, so you're missing your entire secondary for the most point. But it was already a blowout, so I guess you didn't really need those guys out there too much.
But, I mean, game's out of hand, and then the injuries start piling up, and that's just it's the worst kind of scenario. I mean, all of a sudden you're trying to stay in it and trying to do some things. We'll see how bad these are moving ahead, but you want to have some of your contributors at least to see if they can jumpstart things starting next week.
Yeah, it's true. You do. And, to have a losing record and to be an injured player with a losing record, it just makes that injury feel worse, right?
Yep.
And it's a bit more difficult getting up in the morning, say, I got to get in the stadium, do all this extra, this maintenance and rehab stuff.
Yeah.
And you're losing. But it's their job, what they're paid to do. They should love it and find a way to get out here and create a spark somehow. Whatever that is. I had to do it. We weren't always good. But I always
How'd you
woke
do
up.
it then?
I got my butt up, man. I got up. I got over here. I knew guys were depending on me. And I hated missing time. I never wanted to be out. But injuries are a part of the game, so I try my best to, be available each week. And the only way that was going to happen or get close to it happening was me, Joe Sheehan, being in the treatment room 6:30 in the morning, giving myself time to get together. So
I think the biggest thing today was Cam Robinson was able to come back in, right?
Yeah.
Because, you heard the guys on the broadcast saying, look, at this point, Nick Bosa's not even paying attention to play action. He's going right at the quarterback. And if James Robinson's not 100%, it's not like Carlos Hyde's running away from many people either. So teams are just going to pin their ears back, try to tee off on Trevor Lawrence. So would not have been a good one to lose your starting left tackle.
Yeah, you do want to commend Cam really quick, JP and Mike, to show that display of heart and courage. Because Bosa, he's one of the best ends in the entire league. So from to come back in there knowing what he was going to get from Bosa, it speaks volumes. But just looking at a few plays throughout the game, Bosa was using that up and under move. And I'm seeing a few of the tackles overstepping, overcommit outside, allowing Bosa to get inside. I believe those are opportunities where, the people upstairs, the coaches, or maybe even the tackles to tell the backs, look, present yourself outside. Chip this guy coming in, so I don't have to overset. I'll play heavy on the inside, chip him, so we're going to give the quarterback extra time here. I don't know what the conversations were, throughout the week of preparation, but looking at the game, I saw two or three different plays where Bosa stabbed outside and ended up beating the tackle inside to put pressure on the quarterback. But these guys this is where the players got to play above the X's and O's, communicate and say, hey, throw your pride out. I need a little help. This guy is beating me here. I'm going to step heavy right here, chip him on the outside on your release because we don't need you. You're not priority in the passing game from a running back position, right? And sometimes on those chip plays, you can get lost in the play, and the quarterback can find you extremely late there. You can make something out of nothing. So, but this is about the coaches seeing it on tape, playing above the X's and O's as players, watching film, dependent on each other. That's what it's going to take to get closer to winning some ball games.
There you have it. We'll come back in just a moment. The Jaguars Game Day radio broadcast is presented by ViStar Credit Union. The Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game and a preview of next week after this. It's Jaguars postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Proven IT implements a strategic game plan designed to streamline your business for maximum results. Make the winning choice with the official business systems partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Proven IT. Proven IT's technology experts use a customized approach to understand how to design, implement, and monitor solutions that optimize your business. Proven IT provides managed network services, document management solutions, office technology, voice and data solutions, and more. Visit ProvenIT.com to see how they can streamline your business. Proven IT, transforming workplace productivity.
It's been around longer than your quarterback. When you put it on, everyone knows it's game time. So legendary, it deserves its own Hall of Fame. Members-only jackets, undeniable quality and style for over 45 years. Scratch and claw your way over to membersonly.com. Get ready for football season with a jacket that can only be summed up in one word: iconic. Use discount code Jaguars at checkout for 35% off on all iconic racer jackets. Members only. When you put it on, something happens.
Welcome back. Jaguars postgame after a 30-10 loss for the Jaguars to the San Francisco 49ers. Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today. Official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. This week's defensive play of the game is presented by Kingfish Pest Control, and we'll go with the Jaguars Radio Network player of the game, Josh Allen, on that 20-play drive. In fact, the 16th play of that 20-play drive, he came in late, punched the ball out, forced a fumble. Unfortunately, the 49ers recovered, and just a few plays later, settled for a field goal to open the scoring at 3-0. But that forced fumble by Josh Allen is the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game. And Kingfish Pest Control, a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Let the pros tackle the pests in your home by going to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com. Next week, the Atlanta Falcons come to town, and an opportunity for the Jags. We can say that, only a few limited times. The Falcons have their own issues here, but the Jags, got to pick up the pieces from this somehow and find some kind of offensive movement if they're going to get anything done.
No, the best thing you have going for you, Fred, is that the Atlanta Falcons come in off an absolutely horrendous performance, and Cordero Patterson's probably been their offensive MVP. I'd say probably. He's clearly been their offensive MVP this year. Had the high ankle sprain, was unable to play last week. If he can't play, no Calvin Ridley, no Cordero Patterson. The running game is non-existent without CP in there. You got to control Kyle Pitts and get after Matt Ryan. Easier said than done, I suppose, for this team. But this, to me, Fred, is out of all the games left on the schedule, on paper, the most winnable one left for the Jaguars.
Oh, without a doubt. And the Falcons are also looking for answers. But it's the NFL. The game plan is different week to week, regardless of the personnel that's out there. But you hit it on the head. The Falcons are short some of their best playmakers. So if no other time, this is the week to really try to get after them. Pitts, he will be a tough cover, but I think they can get it done. I do expect the D-line to get after Matt Ryan. So this is a makeup game for the Jaguars defense. Really just starting by going out there, focusing on third downs, focusing on not being overly penalized, especially on third downs, and not find yourself in the same situation. Dante Fowler, he'll be excited to be back.
Yes, he will.
In Jacksonville, so we'll see how that goes.
You know he will. Jaguars host the Falcons Sunday, 1 o'clock. Fred, have a good week. We'll talk to you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I was gonna try to do the turkey sound, but I'd rather do the.
Please, we will set
whistle.
the stage. Fred Taylor,
gobble,
if you would
gobble, here we
like to
go.
imitate a turkey,
Nah,
please.
I can't imitate a turkey, man. I'm gonna tear up some turkey.
You want to hear my imitation
Let
of a
me hear
turkey?
it. Yeah.
This is JP Shadrick for the Jaguar Radio Network.
That was golden.
That was
Got
an
him.
easy one.
Got him. That'll do it for Jaguars postgame. Of course, for those on our flagship station, 1010XL in Jacksonville, stick around. The Scoreboard Show is next. We'll hear from Bucky Brooks and take your calls at 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. We'll be here for the next hour or so. Senior VP is Chad Johnson, VP of Production Patrick Cavanaugh, Executive Producer Dave DeCandis, Manager of Radio Joe Fortunato, Tony Smith, Linda Fortunato are our producers, Brent Reber, Trent Padilla produced our video for Jaguars.com, along with Gabby Dalton. For Fred Taylor, Mike Dempsey, and our entire crew, I'm JP Shadrick saying good evening. Final score, 49ers 30, Jaguars 10 on the Jaguars Radio Network.
It's time for the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and NFL Network analyst and former Jaguar Bucky Brooks are ready for you to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Baptist Health, Farah and Farah, and by TIAA Bank. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show starts right now.
Welcome in, Scoreboard Show, 355 NFL1, the number, 355-6351. We're here for an hour taking your phone calls after a Jaguars loss to the San Francisco 49ers, 30-10, the final score. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey here in Jacksonville. NFL Network analyst Bucky Brooks joining us from Los Angeles, California. Oh, bad day at the office, Buck. What's up?
Bad day at the office. I don't know what that was that we watched. That was a beatdown of epic proportions. That was the San Francisco 49ers sending a message while also regaining their swagger and all that other stuff. And so it's a real disappointing performance for the Jaguars because all the odds were in their favor in terms of like the difficulty that the Niners had to overcome. And so to come out and get beat down like that from beginning to end is certainly not what you want to see.
You know, Buggy, we go back to lack of attention to detail, which cropped up really since the opener this year. How do you have a punt formation with no punter on the field? How does that happen in the NFL?
Yeah, like a lot of that stuff looks like amateur hour, and it ultimately falls on the coaching staff and the head coach, Coach Meyer. And so when we talk about being a detailed and button-up group, those things show up. You can't have the penalties, you can't have the mishaps and misalignments and not having enough guys on the field and all the things that we've seen kind of throughout the season. Yeah, you can excuse it in week one, maybe in week two, but now we're over halfway of the season. Like, you need to know who is on the field, who's in what personnel grouping, and those things. It's not just the players who need to know. Like, at some point, coaches need to know who's in the game, who's not in the game, and you have to have that stuff ready. I heard Fred talking about on third down, there is an alert that goes out on the sideline, punt team alert, punt return alert. They are always calling those things out so guys know, so you don't have those issues. So there's something that's being lost in translation from either the practice field to what happens on game day, but it needs to be rectified.
Penalties. My gosh, the penalties in third down situations today, a bunch of different kinds of them, but it extended drives, gave San Francisco some early life on those longer possessions, and, that was the story early in the game today.
Yeah, there was a story early in the game, and, JP coaches will always talk about this. Before you can win games, you have to learn how not to lose. And typically you hear people talk about the DBOs, don't beat ourselves. And it normally comes down to turnovers, penalties, and big plays allowed. If you can control those areas, you give yourself a chance to win. And what we're seeing is we just not enough attention to detail to prevent those things from creeping in and beating you. And so before the Jaguars can get a win consistently, they have to make sure that they don't beat themselves. They have to avoid and eliminate some of the self-inflicted things that are preventing them from winning games.
JP asked Urban Meyer after the game, Bucky, how do you fix it? And he said, you just fix it. Look, I get it. There's no magic wand. You got to go out there and do some self-analysis and figure out where all your deficiencies are. But, I mean, where do you start when you come off of a game like this?
The first thing you do when you start is normally when you lose games or you feel like you're having a lot of issues, you need to simplify everything, because what that is telling you is that the players are confused. They can't remember what's going on. And so some of the things that should be day one things, they tend to get lost in the cracks. And so scale back on what you're doing. Do something that is simple, that allows them to play fast and play free. They can have the confidence in knowing exactly what they're doing. And even though as schemers, we all like to fancy ourselves in being able to trick and be clever and all those things, sometimes you have to sacrifice that to make sure that your players are all on the same page. And so I would say they need to scale back on what they're doing. They need to pay more attention to those issues on the practice field. And so maybe you have periods where you go from offense to defense to special teams as this a situation, so you can make sure that the right grouping is on the field. And you almost have to treat the team like a high school team where you have those days and you pay extra attention to everyone knowing exactly who is supposed to be on the field and in the game and who is supposed to be on deck and on alert.
I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine we're even saying that sentence you just said. Treat it like a high school team and know who's on the field. Am I out of line thinking that way? I mean,
that's what it is. I mean, like, you have to treat players where they're at. And right now the team is showing you they need more discipline, more structure, and more attention to detail. And so as a coach, you have to provide that so they can be at their best. And so we would like to think that you can skip steps and do all that, because some of these guys have been in the league for a long time. But, I mean, we're seeing veterans make key mistakes and critical errors, things that are, I mean, high school-like. If you go to Bowles High School, you shouldn't see some of the issues that we're seeing on the field. And so it's one of those things. And so we can continue to let it slide, and we'll have these same conversations in week 12, 13, and 14, or we can get it fixed on the practice field. And you have to treat them like high schoolers.
Bucky, we know there's a lack of playmaking on the offensive side of things. Clearly, James Robinson is not at his physical peak right now, and you lost Jamal Agnew. You hope he'll be able to continue to play at some point. We don't know what the severity of that injury is, but if he's gone for a while, or maybe the season, we don't know. If James Robinson's not 100%, how can you manufacture offense with what you have on this team right now?
You can't. They don't have enough playmakers. I mean, let's call it. Look, we've been looking at this for 11 weeks. There's no one when you're in the defensive meeting room. There is no one when you look at the lineup that says, I am scared of this guy on the perimeter. There's no one that commands a double team. There's no one that requires you to do anything differently schematically to be able to play. You don't even have to have the discussion. And so when we talk about how they're going to score, the only way they can score is to have better and more explosive playmakers, and they don't have it right now. So now the onus falls to your special teams and your defense to create short fields for the offense to be able to cash it in. Outside of that, the odds are just stacked against the Jaguars being able to go 70 to 80 yards with the players that they have on the field. It's just too hard.
And then you fumble the ball away. First play of the second drive.
I mean, you're giving the ball away. You're doing all those things or whatever. And I know this is something that it pains and frustrates Coach Meyer, because the one thing that everyone wants to look at when you look at your team and everybody else, because the film circulates around the league, do we look like a well-coached team? And today we didn't look like a well-coached team. And that's an issue. And so some of the frustration that you hear, not only with him in the pressers, but some of the reports that you're reading on the growing sense of frustration internally, that happens because you don't look like a well-coached team each and every week. It's one thing to lose close games and those things where, hey, man, just the other team is making more plays. It's another thing to lose and you just look disjointed. That's where we are right now. And I think that's where all the frustration stems from, inside the building and outside the building.
So we're off and running on the Scoreboard Show, 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. We'll take your calls for the next 50 minutes or so. Jags fall 30-10 to the San Francisco 49ers, and it's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Enjoy fall savings going on right now at Renewal by Andersen. Save 20% on replacement windows, patio doors, and installation. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. Designed to withstand the harshest weather environments. Find out more at rbafla.com. This offer expires November 30th and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, the official window and door replacement company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CGC 1527613.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
Want to see the Jaguars take on the Tennessee Titans on the road? Here's your chance. Revente Cognac and the Jaguars are teaming up to send one lucky fan and a guest from Duval to Nashville for the big game. Enter now at jaguars.com/Revente Trip for your chance to win round-trip flights, lodging, and game tickets, courtesy of Revente Cognac. No purchase necessary. Must be 21 or older to enter.
At VyStar Credit Union, you inspire us to deliver on our promise, to do good for our members and our communities. That's why we offer more banking options, like better rates and no hidden fees. We also give back, donating several $1 million to hundreds of nonprofits each year. Better financial lives, stronger communities. VyStar Credit Union. Do good. Bank better. Visit vystarcu.org/join. Insured by NCUA.
When it comes to LASIK, your eyes deserve the very best. And that's why more people choose Meta Custom Vision at Florida Eye Specialist. Just ask Andrea Michael.
The surgery itself was a breeze. During the actual procedure, there were no surprises. I felt relaxed and confident in the doctor and staff. Traditionally, I am not a wildly emotional person, but the day after surgery, I was able to see beautifully. And I was noticing and seeing things that I had never even noticed before. The detail was just astounding to me. And I even teared up a little because it was just life-changing that this was my vision now. This is the way I could see without worrying about contacts, without worrying about glasses. I had perfect vision for the first time in over 25 years. And it was a really cool feeling.
Meta Custom Vision at Florida Eye Specialist has the finest, most up-to-date LASIK equipment. Call today, 268-EYES. That's 268-EYES. Find out more at metalaser.com, the official eye care partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. The Scoreboard Show continues. 49ers over the Jaguars 30-10 in Week 11. The Niners are now 5-5. The Jags are now 2-8. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Bucky Brooks. And your calls at 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. What you got, Mike?
Let's get them cranked up at that number. D on Dunn Avenue. Going to get in first today on the Scoreboard Show with Bucky Brooks. Go ahead, D.
Hey, how y'all doing, fellas?
Hey, man.
All right, man.
All right, man. The game today was like a little laughing stock to me. I got a kick out of the game today. Besides the injuries, I felt real bad. I ain't want nobody to come out of the injuries, but it was just so funny because the fact is that we don't have a next man up. I don't know what our scouting department is doing. I don't know when they go see scouts, these players, are they intoxicated or whatever? 'Cause everybody else can get dominant players. We have a lot of 3s and 4s starting. I just want to know what's going on, man. We need, as I recall, we never drafted a dual threat. We need a dual threat, and I feel like we need to go just start talking about the draft and
wrap this year up in the books because it looked real suspect and it looked garbage. And I'll just take your comments off the air, man.
Appreciate the call. Is it the scouting, Buck, or the picking of the scouting?
I mean, I think right now when you're sitting at 2-8, you have to talk about it all. I mean, everybody takes a part. Even you, me, Mike, we all can do better to make it a better experience for all the Jaguars fans. I mean, I don't know, but I think when it comes to evaluating, yeah, some of it is the scouting, some of it is ultimately player acquisition, and then player development. And so it's a little bit of what you scout and bring in, and then what do you do with them once you get them in the building. But obviously, when we look at the issues that have come up, the roster is not good enough. And so who's ultimately responsible for that? I would say everybody. And so it's one of those things that has to get corrected going forward.
I mean, Bucky, scouts from all teams are scouting the same guys, right? I mean, there's no secrets, right?
Yeah. Nah, I mean, like, everyone is scouting the same guys, but then depending on what your preferences are when it comes to an organization, you put different grades on guys based on what we're saying we want in the building. And so that can skew the grades and impact how your board sits and what it looks like. And ultimately that determines who you have in order and the guys that you prioritize in terms of trying to bring on to the Jags. And so scouts, it does matter, but it all starts at the top. Like, I mean, it starts at the top. Whoever's top, where's general manager, head coach, whoever has the power when it comes to what they want at certain positions and what they want on the team. All of this stuff has to be fleshed out and discussed. But yeah, like, everyone is responsible. I mean, it's player acquisition and player development. So acquisition is the scouting department, development is the coaching department. And so both things have to work hand in hand to build a championship team.
I'll say to Dee's point about not drafting any dual threat guys. I mean, that's what they thought Travis Etienne would be, a runner and a receiver who could provide speed on the edge and take the ball to the house on occasion. Again, I want to be clear. I'm not saying if they had Travis Etienne healthy that this offense would be light years better than it is. But so they did at least make an attempt, and who knows how that would have worked out. But, D, thank you for the call. 355-NFL-1. Next up is our man Sakib here on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Sakib.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, I want to tell Josh Kobe thank you for the tickets today. I appreciate that. He gave me tickets to today's game. I appreciate that.
Oh, you got them, huh?
And
yeah, I saw that tweet.
I got a ticket from Josh Kobe, so I appreciate that. And
where were they for the record? Where were they? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
105.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I saw him tweet about it this morning.
Yeah, I just today was absolutely brutal. I mean, I have never seen, guys, I've said that to you guys before. Have you guys ever seen a Patriots player get kicked out without Bill Belichick going crazy? Our coach doesn't even know what really happened, that he punched somebody. That's undisciplined team, a bunch of penalties. Bosa jumps off sides. Our guy did not jump, and the referees call our guy false start. I mean, just horrible. Everything was bad today. And this team came from West Coast to East Coast and played like it's their own house. I mean, it's just undisciplined team, and the coaches need to do a better job. The players need to do a better job. And it was trash today. And that's what we deserve better. We, the fans, deserve better at this because we're the ones that go to these games, and we deserve better. And we have not been getting better, and it's horrible. And hopefully stop fighting. That's all I'm asking for. Is that too much to ask for? Stop fighting and punching people? I mean, come on now. It's your captain. But have a good one, guys.
Thanks, Sakib. Bucky?
Look, man, he can nail it. It is a disappointing effort when you don't see the discipline and the details. That all comes from the top. And so you have to make sure that your words and actions are all aligned. And so if you talk about having a smart, tough football team, then you want to see guys that are making smart decisions. You want to see toughness being exhibited physically and mentally, and you want to see fast guys. And right now we kind of fall short in each of those areas. And those things that you can address on the practice field with the team that you currently have, but then you have to continue to talk about who do we want to bring on board, and let's make sure that all those guys are going to kind of fit those criteria when we start seeing them play. And so right now we kind of fall short of that.
All right, thank you, Sakib. As always, let's go out to John and Callahan next here on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, John.
Hey, guys, I got one thing to say. I think Trevor is panicking. When he was running for the sideline, he should have thrown the ball away. that way when Bosa tackled him out of bounds, that would have been an unsportsmanlike penalty. Another thing is they seem to want to throw it way down the field. They've got nothing in the 3, 5, and 10-yard range, and he's got nobody, no help. I mean, no clearance in the receiving core from there. I think a lot of this comes back on the coaching. We're back to an offensive coach like we did in the last regime, run, and pass. And that's what they believe, and Coach Myers is with them, so I think that's our big problem right there. And I'm going to leave you with it, guys. Have a good evening.
Thanks for the call.
Bucky, do you think Trevor Lawrence is panicking?
I think there's some anxiety there because, not a lot of stuff is working right now. And I think what happens is when things aren't successful and you've had the kind of losses that we've had, you begin to lose a little faith, or maybe you try and do too much. And so some of the, I would say, the nerves or the jitters that we see from him has to do with that. He wants to make a play. You talk about a guy who's never really lost much at all from high school to college or whatever. He's taking beatdown after beatdown this year, and that's not him. And to his credit, he's trying to be positive. But on the field, when it's not going your way and you're not scoring a lot of points, you begin to press, and sometimes you feel like you see ghosts and there's more people around in the pocket, and you begin to kind of make things or make decisions based on what you think is happening rather than just reacting to what is happening in front of you. And so I think that does contribute to the way that he looks, because he does look a little hurried and harassed in the pocket.
I'll say I thought that should have been a penalty for unnecessary roughness or whatever the call would have been. I thought he did tackle him out of bounds on that one, but obviously the rest didn't see it that way.
What it is today, the Jaguars fall 30-10. Let's take a timeout. Plenty of time to get your calls in. 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351. Plenty to discuss. Lack of offensive production. Couple of giveaways today. And they couldn't slow down the march of the 49ers, including a 20-play drive to open the game. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Fans like you have been told that going all out is going too far. But fans like you know better. You're the kind of fan who loves the team as much as your pet, who paints yourself for game days and dyes your pet's fur to match. You are a rare breed. You are a pet fanatic, equal parts pet obsessed and diehard sports fan. At Pet Paradise, they're crazy about pets too. The official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Pet Paradise. It's a new day in pet care.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Are you tired of not seeing clearly? As the official eye care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Florida Eye Specialists offers the safest, most effective technology to regain control of your sight. With 9 locations across Northeast Florida, our dedicated doctors have provided premier eye care to the community for more than 20 years. Call 904-564-2020 or visit FloridaEyeSpecialists.com to book an appointment with Jacksonville's most trusted eye care providers today.
Want to see the Jaguars take on the Tennessee Titans on the road? Here's your chance. Revente Cognac and the Jaguars are teaming up to send one lucky fan and a guest from Duval to Nashville for the big game. Enter now at jaguars.com/Revente Trip for your chance to win round-trip flights, lodging, and game tickets, courtesy of Revente Cognac. No purchase necessary. Must be 21 or older to enter.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. 355 NFL1, the number 355-6351. Jags fall by a score of 30-10 to the San Francisco 49ers. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey and Bucky Brooks, NFL Network analyst. Another one. Another loss. Another similar loss to others that have happened this season. Some undisciplined play, third down penalties. Defense can get off the field. Bucky, have you ever seen a 20-play, 13-minute drive before?
I mean, I've seen long drives, but that is one, and that's a killer, man. Like, that is a killer for the defense when you have 20 plays and the overwhelming majority of those plays are runs. It's just physically, it's kind of like dealing with a bunch of body blows in the opening rounds of a fight. They don't get you then, but the cumulative effect over time just wears you out. And so that's why in the late stages of the game, you can't get stops because you you punch drunk from just taking all of those punches early in the fight.
Yeah, nothing really you can hang your hat on right now.
No.
Pointing to that this team is doing it well. I mean, the defense had been playing well coming in, but when you allow time of possession of 13 minutes to start the game, can't even point to that anymore, at least for now. 355-6351, the number. Tunde, all the way out from Denver, Colorado, checking in next on the Scoreboard Show. Hey, Tunde, how you doing?
Man, I'm blessed. How y'all doing?
Okay. Great. What's on your mind?
Man, good, man. Definitely, again, Tunde, from Denver. Get used to the name. Won't be here every week. There's so many things to cover, right? First question for you guys, and Bucky specifically, how much do you think when it comes to the personnel issues, do you think that is attributed to the coaching staff consistently moving pieces in and out of lineups to try to figure out who's good where, who's a ball player, who's going to show up on Sunday? How much of that do you think attributes to it? Also, what do you think about them elevating John Brown? If we need speed, why is he not playing over Tavon Austin? There's a lot of things that we're looking at. But how do you guys feel about that?
Well, go ahead, Buck.
Yeah, no, I would say first things first. When it comes to personnel, there is something too when you're constantly moving people in and out. Sometimes you do a disservice to players because they never settle in. Some players have the capacity to be able to do it mentally, where they're able to play a corner, dime, nickel, safety, and it doesn't impact their game. But there are a host of other guys who, the more you move them around, the more confused they get. And so you begin to see a slower product on the field because they're uncertain. And so we had heard last week after the game, we talked about Laviska Shenault and whether he should be out wide or in the slot because he appears to play better in the slot than out wide. Sometimes those little sort of movements, moving from inside to outside or vice versa, can impact the player more than we would expect it to. And I think ultimately, as a coach, you have to listen to the player and not only what he says, but how he performs. If you can't handle it, you have to take that off his plate and give him a chance to be at his best. I think Jaguars have to kind of look at their entire operation and see what they can scale back on to give everybody an opportunity to flourish.
All right, Tunde, thank you for checking in. Let's keep it here in Jacksonville next. Robert on the south side. You're next on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Robert.
Hey, guys. I just have one comment, and I've never seen this before, is when you're going to punt the ball and you don't have a punter on the field. So that's all my comment was.
Yeah, it's helpful to have one, Bucky.
It is helpful to have one. As much as I want to put that on coaches, the punter has to know, man. He has to know when it's time to punt. We don't punt on third down. We punt only on fourth down. So he had to know it was third down. I'm sure there's some kind of alert or bat signal that goes out on the sideline to let all the punt team guys know be ready. If we don't get the first down, we have to run out here and punt. That is crazy. It's just been, I mean, it's always something every week.
It just adds to the look of just the bad overall feel and look.
Just look like a bad, poorly coached team. And it just doesn't work. I mean, you know, I hate to say this, but the football guys don't shine. They don't shine on those teams that don't take care of the details and don't do the little things. And right now, we haven't done the little things, which is why we keep tallying up all these losses.
I almost felt like he thought they were going to go for it there. I did. Like, I was trying to figure out, like, why. And I thought, you know, because in my mind, I was wondering, are they going to go for it here? Because they've got nothing going offensively. The ball's around midfield. What do you have to lose, you know? And then, of course, you end up, you know, the whole circumstance.
Yeah, that's.
I'm looking, and it's probably not what it was, but even if it was, you got to know because clearly the rest of the punt team was out there. They got the message. So I don't know if I've ever seen that before either. Got a few firsts today.
Yeah, you got to know that's your job, right? Your job is you are the punter. There's not much else that you're responsible for doing. Maybe hold on PATs and field goals. So, I mean, you should be able to pay attention. Look at the scoreboard and see, oh, it's third down. I probably need to get ready to punt. Like little stuff like that. That to me, I understand we will put it on the coaches for not having them ready. Punter has to know when he's about to be up and live.
I'll tell you, we've gone through a few bingo cards this year already of things that we haven't seen a lot of.
Ugly ones.
Continue today. Final score 30-10. We'll come back in a moment. Plenty more time. We'll be here for 30 more minutes with your calls. 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351. The Jags fall to 2-8, and it's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Enjoy fall savings going on right now at Renewal by Andersen. Save 20% on replacement windows, patio doors, and installation. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. Designed to withstand the harshest weather environments. Find out more at rbafla.com. This offer expires November 30th and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, the official window and door replacement company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CGC 1527613.
Great teams leave it all on the field. But with the powerful towing and payload that Ford F-150 delivers, you can take it all with you, too. No wonder Ford F-Series is America's best-selling truck 44 years straight. The 2021 Ford F-150, built for greatness. Visit your local Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com. Based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
Any repeated physical activity puts stress on the body. Checking your phone, getting in the car, sitting at your desk, checking the phone, getting in your car, sitting at your desk, checking your phone for the 50th time today. If you do anything with regularity, you should get massaged with regularity. Massage Envy. Keep your body working.
Regular body work makes the body work with massage, skincare, and stretch. Come in today for more information or visit massageenvy.com for more details.
Ready to take the next step toward the ultimate you. Dr. Patrick Basil, official plastic surgeon of the Jacksonville Jaguars, presents the Ultimate You Sweepstakes. Enter for a chance to win a cool sculpting treatment package valued at $4,500, plus a Jaguars performance training session. Receive your free customized treatment in a relaxed, modern, patient-centered environment. Learn more and enter the sweepstakes at jaguars.com/ultimateyou or call 904-222-6262. Terms and conditions apply. No purchase necessary.
Headquartered right here in Jacksonville, CSI Companies is one of the fastest-growing workforce solutions companies in the nation. As a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI has the resources necessary to scale with any enterprise, yet they are small enough to maintain the agility, personal service, and remarkable experience they've become known for over the past 3 decades. This is your workforce and your business reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com to learn more.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now. at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Oh, we're back. It's the Scoreboard Show. 30-10 the final score. San Francisco 49ers with a win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, NFL Network analyst Bucky Brooks, and your calls 355-NFL-1, the number 355-6351. What you got, Mike?
All right, they keep coming in. Glenn, all the way out in Dallas, Texas, checking in next on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Glenn.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
What's up?
Oh, nothing much. I just want to start by, I want to talk about Trevor, but I want to start by saying today it wasn't his fault. Everything went bad today. Every part of the team played bad. But as Jags fans, we all kind of know that Trevor is our future, and he's what we have to look forward to. And last week I called in, and, Bucky, he brought up a good analogy about the truck or trailer. And at this point now, I think all of us as Jags fans, we'd be lying if we didn't say now we're at the point we're trying to figure out with him, do we have a truck or a trailer, and how do we need to be looking at this in the future, as far as him and his development and the rest of the team.
All right, Glenn, thank you. Buck, what do you think?
Man, it's too early to expect a young quarterback, a first-year quarterback, to be a truck. I kind of make the comparison. Everyone is going goo-goo gaga over Mac Jones, but when you watch Mac Jones play, he doesn't have the weight of the world on his shoulders in terms of lifting that team. That team with a rookie quarterback is leaning on the running game and the defense, and they're asking him to basically play a very safe and conservative game where he's not throwing much beyond 5 yards and as much as swings and checkdowns and things of that nature. What Trevor Lawrence is being asked to do is to put the offense on his back and to make these plays and to make things happen where the team is not ready for him to do it. Like, he's not ready, and the team around him, the supporting cast, isn't good enough around him to play that kind of style. And so I know there's a level of disappointment because he was the number one overall pick. But, man, normally the number one overall pick for a reason. One, you're really, really talented. Two, the team that picks you wasn't very, very good. And both of those things are the case in this situation.
All right, Glenn, thank you for the call. We'll get back here to Jacksonville. Daniel's on the south side next on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Daniel.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
All right. What's up?
Good. How are you?
The reason why I'm calling in is I've listened a lot of time, first time calling in, because from what I've noticed, and from the beginning, everybody knows that Jacksonville was picking Trevor Lawrence on a first-round pick. But the problem is that why didn't we pair him up with someone that is already in tune or synced with the NFL's method? Because by bringing in this head coach, we now have to deal with him. But to apply his own analogy from last year's off season, if you stand across the other man that's in front of you and you're getting outbeat, why should I keep you on the team? That was his words, not mine. Okay? We as a fan should ask him the same question. Because right now, we are getting beat. I understand that we're not the best team in the world, but the way we play, but the way we look on TV, that's why we're the laughing stock of this NFL team, of this NFL. It's not. I feel like if better decision was made up front, the team would have been in a better situation right now. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Daniel. Bucky, would a head coach with NFL experience have helped based on, where they find themselves today?
I mean, I can't say it would have made much of a difference. I would say that if you had someone who had NFL experience, they would kind of understand the lay of the land when it comes to building a team and coaching a game. But I don't think it necessarily matters that much. We've seen other guys like coming to the league and eventually have success. I think there is a bit of a transition period, but I mean, good coaches figure out a way to do it. I think maybe the bigger thing would be when you take a college coach and you have a quarterback that goes number one, why doesn't the offense look maybe a little more collegiate in terms of more quarterback friendly to get the quarterback up and running, as opposed to maybe tasking the quarterback with trying to learn how to play NFL ball, when you see a number of quarterbacks in this league that are having success not playing in traditional systems.
You know, there's all that talk, too, that Urban wanted a mix of some college positional guys that he knew, but he wanted his coordinators to have NFL experience. And Bevel has that, of course. Schottenheimer has that. Cullen has never been a coordinator, but he's been in the league for a long time. Oh, you still have to have Jimmys and Joes to be able to execute all that, Bucky.
Mm-hmm. It's always about the Jimmys and Joes.
So, Bucky, what would the aspects of what Trevor Lawrence did at Clemson, you know, are we talking about more RPOs? Because I think that's, you know, a lot of coordinators in the NFL want to shy away from that because they feel like you're going to get your quarterback blown up. But other than maybe some run-pass option plays in there, what would you do? What have you seen from Trevor Lawrence at Clemson that you would try to incorporate into what the Jaguars are doing right now?
See, here's the thing about their RPOs. There's so many different varieties of RPOs that you can use. RPOs don't necessarily mean that the quarterback is the primary runner. It could be the basic stuff that we are seeing at the collegiate level, where you have the running back running inside as if he's running a zone play. The quarterback is sticking the ball in his belly while the slot receiver is running a slant right behind to that side. So now the quarterback is basically reading that backside linebacker to see if he chases the run or if he sits back. If he sits back, they hand it off to the running back. If he chases, he pulls it and he fires in a laser to Marvin Jones or Laviska Shenault. And so you're able to kind of control the game in a different way. And some of the other stuff that Trevor was doing in college, it was a lot of quick game, quick rhythm, catch, rock, throw, get the ball out of your hands. Not a lot of, hey, let's take 3, 5, 7-step drops and let's read all of these different guys coming open or whatever. He certainly can do it. But if you want Trevor Lawrence to be a good shooter, you have to litter in some layups so he can get some confidence. I don't see a lot of layups in this offense, so he never can get into a rhythm because he never sees the ball go in the basket on a consistent basis. And so some of it is talent-driven, some of it is the structure of the offense, but all of those things need to be evaluated when you know that this quarterback is going to be there for a while. So I think that is maybe some of the frustration in watching it, because you're like, man, why are we making it so hard for him to get into a rhythm when you look at others that are playing, particularly young guys. You look at Mac Jones, you look at even like Justin Fields. Today I saw Huntley play for the Baltimore Ravens, and they're doing basic stuff to get them going. There are things that you can do from a creative standpoint to make the game very, very easy for the quarterback.
Yeah, Huntley played, I guess, probably his first action at quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Threw it to his tight end a bunch. We didn't throw it to the tight end once today. Dumped it down to Devontae Freeman a half dozen times as well. And, you know.
Yeah, that's another point. I mean, Dan Arnold didn't get a look today, Bucky.
Not a target.
0.0.
Hey, man, like, there's a decision that you have to make when you're a play caller. Is it about the plays or is it about the players? And ultimately, the ball should go to the best players. You give them enough opportunities, the odds go up that they're going to make big plays. And so Dan Darnold has been the most productive wide receiver since he's arrived. The fact that he only has one target, like, that is crazy. I mean, who else should be getting the ball? He should be getting the rock if he's the most productive player. And so, to me, some of it is nonsensical when we look at it. And in a game when you're down the majority of the time by 2 and 3 scores, like, the ball should find the way into his hands.
I mean, there's got to be, a reason. I mean, they putting 2 guys on him, or, San Francisco had to have schemed that up, right? Not just not throwing it to the guy.
I can't even say that, like, they gives no credit. I mean, maybe, like, without looking at the tape, maybe, like, let's just say they did decide to, of all the people, they're going to double team Dan Arnold,
right,
or whatever.
Which
I don't think it was a situation like that. I still believe that even in that, there's things that you can do. You should move him around. If he is your number one guy, start him outside, motion him inside so you can identify if it's a double coverage. Make the defense think. But he just can't line up like he's an iron deer on the lawn and you don't do anything else to help him. Like, good players still need help being able to get free. Like, that is on the play call and the play designers to make life easier for the playmakers to get the rock.
It's a new visual.
No, do you have your Christmas iron deer out on your lawn yet? It's a little early.
Not quite. But, like, I have seen in the neighborhood, people are beginning to put up the Christmas lights. I think that's a little early, but beginning to see some of this stuff.
It's been up for a while in my neighborhood. Let's go back, get one more in on this side at 355 NFL 1. Marcus in Regency next up. Hi, Marcus. How are you?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Okay, man. What's up?
So, Bucky, thank you for completely stepping on my toes because my whole call was about what you literally just said. But yeah, the play calling. For weeks, I have been questioning about the route concepts. A lot of different receivers in the same area. I mean, it happens sometimes, but there's no shallow crossers. I don't know when the last time I've seen a slant. Things to help Trevor kind of get quick started. Sorry about that. Things to try to get Trevor quick started. And, maybe, run play action more because the numbers early in the year showed that he did better in play action. So, basically, everything you just said, Bucky, and I'll take you guys' comments off the air.
Appreciate the call.
All right, repeat it all back, Buck, if you would.
No,
rewind
well, see, that's the other thing. We haven't even got to that part, right? So, play action. And so, a lot of what we think, when we want to build around the quarterback, some of it is yes, you certainly want to use some of the stuff that he did in Clemson where he was in the gun. But, Mike and JP, it's a lot easier sometimes for the quarterback to get easy completions on play action if you put him under center, you instruct him to turn his back to the defense with a ball fake, and then he looks up and there's separation on the defense because the linebackers come up, they're bigger windows, and it's easier to throw. Let's be honest. We looked at a quarterback today in Jimmy Garoppolo, who out west, they talk about him every week, and they can't wait to replace him, right? But what Kyle Shanahan has done, because Jimmy Garoppolo has issues, they've created an offense that is a simple Simon offense, right? That we can go to one of the local high schools and say, hey, you're either going to hit this guy on the post or this guy on the crossing route. That's it. And so those things can be done from a creative standpoint just by using the threat of the run or the illusion of the running game to make it easy for the quarterback to get windows. I mean, JP, when was the last time we saw a bootleg? When was the last time we saw Trevor on the run, moving away, faking one way, coming back? I know one game we made a concerted effort to see that. We haven't seen that again. We haven't seen the movement-based passing game featured again. Little things where maybe you cut the field in half for the quarterback is easy, but you're changing the launch point. So the defense can't always say, hey, Trevor Lawrence is always going to throw from the grassy knoll on the hill. Move the pocket around, make the game easy. And so, man, I can talk about Trevor Lawrence and, hey, if he hit this or that. But before we go there, have the coaches done a good enough job of giving him an opportunity to be at his best at this stage of his career?
Let's take a timeout. We'll come back. A few minutes remaining in the Scoreboard Show. Final score, 30-10. The 49ers over the Jaguars in Week 11. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Shopping Publix with delivery and curbside pickup powered by Instacart makes getting your groceries more convenient than ever. It's basically the best thing since sliced bread, which you can order from the Publix bakery. You can also get fresh meats and cheeses from the deli, delicious produce, and Publix premium ice cream, all without having to leave your couch or car. Orders are available in as little as 2 hours. Prices vary from in-store. Fees, tips, and taxes may apply. Subject to terms and availability. Visit Publix.com/shop. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Want to see the Jaguars take on the Tennessee Titans on the road? Here's your chance. Revente Cognac and the Jaguars are teaming up to send one lucky fan and a guest from Duval to Nashville for the big game. Enter now at jaguars.com/Revente Trip for your chance to win round-trip flights, lodging, and game tickets, courtesy of Revente Cognac. No purchase necessary. Must be 21 or older to enter.
At VyStar Credit Union, you inspire us to deliver on our promise, to do good for our members and our communities. That's why we offer more banking options, like better rates and no hidden fees. We also give back, donating several $1 million to hundreds of nonprofits each year. Better financial lives, stronger communities. VyStar Credit Union. Do good. Bank better. Visit vystarcu.org/join. Insured by NCUA.
On the road, there's a thin line between safety and tragedy. Don't cross it. Give law enforcement, first responders, and service professionals the space to safely do their jobs. When you see flashing lights, move over a lane or slow down 20 miles per hour below the posted speed limit. See lights? Move over, Florida. Brought to you by the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles and the Florida Highway Patrol.
Dreaming of a new home? Well, this season, you could win $100,000 towards a Dream Finder's home. It's simple, really. When the Jaguars return a punt for a touchdown, one lucky person will win $100,000 toward a new Dream Finder's home. Visit any Dream Finder's Homes model and register to win the Take It to the House promotion for your chance at scoring $100,000 toward your brand new Dream Finder's home. Dream Finder's Homes, homes built to fit your lifestyle.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. Final moments of the Scoreboard Show. If you don't get in here, the fifth quarter is coming up at the top of the hour. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks. Let's get to some final calls.
All right, let's do it. Daniel out at the beach is next up on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Daniel. Daniel,
Hello,
you there, Daniel? All right.
Daniel.
One down. Moving on to David on the south side. David. Nope. No David. All right. Let's go for three in a row here. Kevin in Camden County, Georgia. How about that? Kevin, you're on the Scoreboard Show.
Hey, how are you guys tonight?
Okay. What's going on, man?
That was awful.
Yeah.
I just was curious. Can the NFL fix the officiating, or is it just? I just was curious. Was the play that got him kicked out? Was that a legit penalty? Was that? I mean, they went at it from where we were sitting. It looked like they went at it a long time. Was that legit, or?
I'll say that at least on television, they're going at it. They had not thrown a flag yet. Maybe we'll just kind of let it go until he punched him in the face. Then it was a penalty.
Well, now, I mean, what can be done about the stuff that they just? It just seems like everything seems to go against the Jags all the time, and I don't know. It just the NFL should fix it. It's just horrible.
Well,
it's.
We've said this before. Vision is a lot more times emotional than it is physical because fans see what they want to see, and they don't see what they don't want to see. It goes both ways. There were weeks where it's gone the Jags' way. Whatever. Just you have penalties, you don't have penalties. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no conspiracy from New York.
Yeah. Bucky, did you think this game felt like one that went – I mean, the Jags committed a lot more penalties than San Francisco did, but did you think that those were legit, or did you think that it was lopsided in some way?
I'm conditioned to think that you're rewarded based on how you perform and how you play. And when you play bad football for a long time, you don't get any breaks because the officials are human and they're used to seeing you play bad football, so they just think it's bad. And so if they wanted to change, they have to change the way that they go about doing their business. When we sat here and talked over the hour about details and understanding the little things, you have to do the little things. And then when you start to win, the breaks tend to go your way. But right now, no one's going to bail you out. And I don't think there's a conspiracy against the Jaguars and those things. You just typically, you don't get bailed out when you haven't played well over time. And the Jaguars haven't played well enough to kind of curry favor from officials to get some of those 50-50 calls that haven't gone their way of late.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. One more to go, and that is John on the north side. John, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, please.
Hey, fellas. How you doing?
Good, man. What's up?
I changed all my presets to this channel. I love this channel, so no matter what button I push, it still go to that channel.
Appreciate you.
But I was just calling to say that it's not making much sense to me because the Jaguars been so bad for so long, and every week you hear the same excuses. Every year you hear the same excuses. is maybe they need to look into some other things to change the mindset. Like I was thinking, I said, do they need to burn some sage in the locker room or change the logo on the helmets? Something to change the perception of the team and the motivation of the team, because they all when I see them play and I look at the sideline, I don't see anybody trying to motivate the guys to get them going on the sideline. It's kind of like everybody in their own little world. You know, it's not making much sense to me at all.
Burning sage, huh?
We tried chopping wood.
Yeah, a while ago.
Didn't work, but we tried it. Yeah. What do you think here, Bucky? Is there any kind of
like a seance
metaphysical cure to what's going on here?
We need a live rooster is what we need. Live rooster.
I mean, anything and everything. We need all of it. Everybody needs to come with rabbit's feet and Lucky Charms and four-leaf clovers and all those other things that are supposed to change and turn around your fortunes. We need all of that. I think the main thing, like we can talk about it over and over and over again. Everyone knows what needs to be fixed. Now it's about fixing it. I think Mike has been on it. Like, look, man, I keep hearing everyone say, oh, we're going to fix the drop pass. We're going to fix the penalties. Well, at some point, if you know it's a problem, then you do need to fix it. And so how do we go about fixing it? I mean, we've seen it. We have officials at the practice to tell them what's a penalty and what's not a penalty. Those guys have been there since training camp in the summertime. So daily they get feedback. They do 1 million drills to take care of the football and do all that other stuff. The only thing that we don't know is the personnel situation and what they do to prepare for who goes in and that stuff. But, I mean, look, man, the entire operation is subject to evaluation, and everyone has to dig down deep and figure out what they can do on their own to help the team win. But everyone's on high alert because I think you have to evaluate everything.
All the above. I could have had a cleaner pregame show today, I'll be honest with you. I mean, if we're self-evaluating everything.
Like we need to take the microphones, go bury them.
Yeah.
Right? And, like, put that – because I've heard coaches do that occasionally, like take a football and
put it in the backyard.
The Lions coach did that with the tape last week, he said, right, Buck? Isn't that right?
Yeah. That's right. He said he got rid of it. Got to get it out of there. It's bad.
Now, is that on a thumb drive now, or is that because it's not a real VHS tape? I don't know.
I mean, you can have like a little plot, like you put it in one of those little small Planet Pots and take it out there to the practice field and kind of dump it. I mean, we have grass practice fields. We certainly can do it out there. Set a little land, little plot. I mean, I think they need to bury the ball, if anything. Take the whole football, just bury it, start all over.
Wow, that's a great way to finish. Awesome.
Yeah, in the end, I know we're kind of joking about it, but they, you know, that if you had a team that was just playing out of character, then maybe, you know, that kind of mental reset would work. I don't know that this team's playing out of character. This is the character of this football team.
That's right.
So
yeah,
you know, you got to change your execution. You got to you got to you know, commit to the fundamentals. I don't know all these cliches, but I don't know how you get better, Bucky. Like Urban said to JP in the post game, it's got to get better. We got to do it. We got to fix it. There's no magic wand or sage or anything else that will fix this.
No, there's no magic wand or sage. And so we talk about the two types of coaches. Either you're a fundamentalist or you're a schemer. If you're a schemer, then you spend all your time trying to come up with exotic X's and O's to make sure that your team has an advantage to win games. If you're a fundamentalist, then you spend your time devoted to the drills so that you can build good habits and create the kind of habits that when it comes down to playing under pressure, you rely on your habits. And so I don't know what coach is, but we need to figure it out. If he's talking about fixing it and the details and all that other stuff, you tend to skew towards being a fundamentalist. Within the practice field needs to reflect what you want to get done on game day. And so I would say more attention to the detail when it comes to taking care of the ball and being on sides and the penalties. And then now that we've seen these personnel issues, they have to practice and rehearse that. Figure out a way to get substitutes in the game so you have everybody on the field. We don't have penalties, either lack of participation or too much participation.
Jaguars host the Atlanta Falcons this coming week in Week 12. The Falcons have a losing record. What's your early thought on this game next week, Bucky?
It's going to be a hard game for the Jaguars because as bad as the Jaguars might have looked today, the Falcons look 2 times worse because they got back-to-back performances of getting absolutely waxed. And so they got waxed on national TV, which comes with a level of embarrassment. And that means that they're going to have all eyes focused, because as bad as they may look to us, we look just as bad to them. And this will be viewed as, this opportunity for us to get back on track, and they'll go. And I think they have more of their weapons. I don't know if Calvin really will show up, but Cordero Patterson should be available. And so he shows up, it changes the dynamic, because he was their most explosive offensive weapon to date. So this is going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game. Everyone's going to tell the Jaguars all week how bad the Falcons are, and the Falcons have had to stew in it for 2 weeks. And so they're going to come out and they're going to try and knock the Jags around. And it'll be interesting to see how we respond.
Falcons have been outscored the last 2 weeks combined 68-3 against Dallas and New England. They'll come to TIAA Bank Field November 28th, 1 o'clock kickoff time. Bucky, happy Thanksgiving to you early. We'll talk to you as the week goes along.
Yeah, you guys have a good one. Have a good holiday with your families.
All right, you too. Bucky Brooks, NFL Network analyst, after a Jaguars loss in week number 11, Mike. Jaguars today, tomorrow?
Tomorrow. D-Rock will be in. No David Garrard tomorrow, but short week, obviously, with Thanksgiving coming up.
Okay. And, of course, we'll have Jaguars drive time in the morning at 10 o'clock on Jaguars.com and Jag social media. And then Jaguars happy hour. Pete Prisco, Tony Baselli, 4 to 6 on the AM signal. And then a replay at 8 to 10 on both FM and AM on 1010XL. That'll do it for the Scoreboard Show. Thank you for all the calls tonight. Our thanks to Tony Smith, our entire Jaguars.com crew, the Fortunato clan. For Mike Dempsey and Bucky Brooks, I'm JP Shadrick. We'll catch you next time. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.